I don't even know what to say about that game. It's Friday the 13th. You would think the biggest horror movie to ever come out on Friday the 13th is obviously Friday the 13th, with Jason Voorhees, but it was actually the Phillies game tonight because they got absolutely obliterated by the Mets, 11-3. Mets just completely dominated the Phillies in every aspect of the game. Jose Quintana, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts. Just really an abysmal night all around for the Phillies. They did nothing on offense. They did nothing on defense. Aaron Nola was not good. I'm gonna get into all that, but injury updates did get some. Francisco Lindor unfortunately left the game for the Mets. No update on him yet. Alec Boehm, he could be activated on Monday for the Milwaukee series, Rob Thompson said. Him and Edmundo Sosa are going to have rehab games. Let me get the exact thing. Uh, Boehm fully participated in batting practice and he took grounders at third base. And then Spencer Turnbull, he had a bullpen session where he tossed 30 pitches and he sat around 92 on his fastball. So on Monday, he's going to be throwing another bullpen session. So hopefully, Phillies can get him back real soon. And then they said Austin Hayes hasn't even swung a bat yet. Uh, yeah, he says he hopes Hayes can return by the end of the regular season, but it doesn't sound too promising. So hopefully everything is okay with him. I believe he has a kidney infection, so hopefully everything is okay with Austin Hayes. And let's get right to the keys to the game. We talked about Aaron Nola. Oh, he really screwed us all tonight. 4 1/3, 6 hits, 6 runs, and he hit the over by 1 strikeout. So not a good night all around, even for the triple play. 7 strikeouts. The only good thing about Aaron Nola today was doing really good until the 5th inning, where the Mets scored 6 runs. They had 2 3-run home runs. One from Francisco Alvarez, who we were talking about on the pregame show, who was struggling this year. And then Brandon Nimmo comes around and hits a 3-run home run in the same inning. Nola was done after that, but it was still downhill from there. Max Lazar gave up 3 runs. Tyler Gilbert gave up a run, and then Cody Clemens came in the 9th inning, and Pete Alonso hit a home run off of him. So really, just an abysmal night. The Mets were on fire. 14 hits, 11 runs, 4 home runs. Everybody that started for them in their starting lineup got at least 1 hit. Looking at it, most of them had two. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 of their 9 guys had 2 hits, and the rest of them had at least one. So really good night for the Mets, which I don't like saying because I cannot stand the Mets. The Mets fans are some of the most annoying people I've met. This is not talking about all Mets fans, but the ones that I have interacted with. I have not had great interactions with the Mets. It doesn't help that the Phillies are their arch rival. So obviously, not a fan of the Mets. So I hate talking about when the Mets beat the Phillies, but got to do the job. I got to talk about it non-biasedly, try. But yeah, another thing that we got to talk about tonight is how we did on the triple play. So let's see how we did tonight. It wasn't just a rough night for the Phillies. It was a rough night for the triple play. Aaron Nola hit the over by 1 strikeout. Just one. We were so close, but I did say if you took the over, I would not be opposed to that. That was plus 110, I believe. So if you took the over, good job. Nick Castellanos, he was 0 for 3 tonight. Kyle Schwarber did get a hit, and he was one of the only runs in the 9th inning, but Johan Rojas stole second base early in the game, but he flew off the bag and was tagged out. John Kruk made an interesting point about the oven mitt. He was like, I get why the guys wear it, but you also can't get a grip on the base. So I've seen that a couple times with Rojas where he goes flying off the bag. Is that just a Johan Rojas thing? Is it something he can adjust to? Or is that just the oven mitt in general? Is there like a new thing they can try where maybe you can grab the base a little bit without it hurting your fingers? I don't know if that's even possible, but nonetheless, 0 for tonight. And speaking of Johan, did not get a home run tonight. If we had taken the Brandon Marsh home run, that would have hit. He pinch hit for Nick Castellanos in the ninth inning, hit a 3-run home run. So, only bright spot I would say tonight. At least Rojas got a hit, but the Phillies just really, really struggled on offense. They had what 4 hits all night, and they didn't get any of their runs until the bottom of the ninth when it was pretty much over. It was 11-0 at that point. So uh, Mets now 7 games behind the Phillies, and they got 6 more to go. Uh, just brutal. I mean, every game counts, and you don't want the Mets getting any more momentum than they have. They've already been white hot at this point, not even red hot, white hot, and you are going to be giving them even more momentum. They're not a great team on the road. I mean, they are what 9 games above 500, but the Phillies only team in the league with 50 home wins. So to host a Friday night game against your biggest rival, a team that's been incredibly hot, and you come out looking like this. So, not a good start to this 10-game stretch we mentioned. You got 2 more against the Mets, you got 3 in Milwaukee, and then you have 4 against the Mets, and then you play the Cubs. So, really, really tough stretch. And who the Mets have after the Phillies, like in between that period? I'm curious. They have the Braves. Oh, wrong. I lied. They have the Nationals. They have the Braves and then the Brewers after the Phillies. So they're on a really tough stretch too. They have Phillies, Nationals, Phillies, Braves, Brewers. So man, we are eating good with these National League playoff games so far. But speaking of the other National League playoff teams, the Braves picked up a huge win over the Dodgers tonight. They won 6-2. I'm not sure who pitched for them. Let's check that right now. Jacob DeGrom did not. They are playing right now, but it's top of the first, so he hasn't pitched yet. Let's go. Dodgers, Braves. Spencer Schwellenbach with the win for the Braves. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. I mean, you hold Ohtani 0 for 4. Mookie Betts 0 for 4. Freddie Freeman 0 for 3. A report just came out today that Shohei Ohtani may pitch in the postseason for the Dodgers. And I mean, this is a big testament because Tyler Glasnow suffered a setback during his injury. I think he was supposed to have some kind of session today, but he felt pain right before he was going to do it. So he did not do it. So a setback for him. This is really a must win this year for the Dodgers. I feel like Dave Roberts is gone if they do not win the World Series this year or even come close, because we mentioned a lot on pregame show, postgame show here. Dave Roberts does not have a good playoff history. And the only time the Dodgers really won the World Series was 2020. And I don't necessarily count that much because you played 60 games, played 80 games, whatever it was. Did not play a lot of games. So I was not, I hold an asterisk over that. But like the NBA bubble, I don't have that big of an asterisk. I mean, that's a debate for another day. Is the 2020 or all the 2020 championships, do they have asterisks on them? That's a discussion for another day. But the only RBIs, Tommy Edman and Miguel Rojas for the Dodgers. So Jorge Soler will hit a home run tonight for the Braves. So did Gio Urshela. He's been a nice pickup for them. And then we got with the hit with Merrifield, that 9 spot. He got another 2 hits for them. Bullpen was lights out. So huge win for the Braves, picking up a game on the Phillies. Mets do too. So Braves are only 8 games behind the Phillies now. Unfortunately for them, the Mets did win, so they are still outside of that wild card spot right now. Looking at the other scores, the Brewers, they are playing the Diamondbacks. Let's see what that score. It's early on. The game started at 9:40. It's 10:25. Top of the third, Diamondbacks up 1-0. I forgot they had Erod. Eduardo Rodriguez. Was kind of hoping the Phillies would get him at some point, but he's got 5 strikeouts through 2 innings. Oh my goodness. Great pickup for the Diamondbacks. Now imagine if Jordan Montgomery had a half decent season with them. They would have Gallen, Rodriguez, Montgomery. Oh my goodness. That is a crazy, crazy rotation if they were all in the prime, but yeah, he didn't make his season debut until August, but he has been really struggling for them. Oh, yikes. He has given up more than 3 runs in each of his starts except for one, and that was against Miami. So, unfortunate, but he's having a really good game so far. I really love Eduardo. He was really great on the Tigers. He denied that trade to the Dodgers. If you remember that, he got traded to the Dodgers last trade deadline, but he said no because he didn't want to go there. He didn't want to go to the West Coast. Allegedly, it was because he wanted to stay closer to his family. So now he's balling out in Arizona, or not necessarily, but he's balling out tonight. So we shall see what he does in the Padres. I don't even think that game started yet. I mean, it's the Giants. They usually play at 10-10. Yeah, bottom first. Padres did get 3 runs in the first inning, and they have Dylan Cease on the mound. So good start for them. Fernando Tatis had a 2-run home run in the first inning, and then Xander Bogaerts hit a double. Oh my goodness. Tatis hit one 433 dead center. So Padres looking good for them. A good team on the road. They are 42-30. So them being a wild card team, people need to watch out because in all likeliness, it's going to be them versus the Diamondbacks because obviously the 3rd seed will play the 6th seed and then 4 plays 5, right? Yeah. So if the Padres end up being the 5 seed, I would honestly pick them over the Diamondbacks. Maybe a little bit hypocritical because in August I picked the Diamondbacks to win the World Series, but they were red hot at the time, quick to jump on it, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and that's all the playoff teams in the National League. Why don't we cover some of the American League? We cover obviously National League because it is Phillies pre and post game, but we're not just Phillies. So let's look at the standings here. Let's go over the American League playoff race. Wild card. You see, ESPN's thing, they have the wild card, but they don't have the division winner. So you can't really see the matchups versus division. No, that's not even. So I don't know. ESPN, fix your wild card thing on your website. It's very confusing. Let's go. I use the score on my phone. So let's see because they do it well. So right now, the Yankees and the Guardians have the top 2 seeds. And speaking of the Yankees, Aaron Judge, go ahead grand slam. That was his first home run in 16 games. We talked about the other day how he hasn't homered in a while, and he's probably not going to come close to breaking or tying his own record. But maybe now this is the turning point, and he turns up these last 2 weeks. But Yankees 1st seed, Guardians of the 2 seed. But the Orioles are only 2.5 games behind the Yankees. So seems like whoever wins the American League East is going to get the 1st seed. But I mean, Cleveland's only a game and a half back. So 1st seed likely going to either be Yankees, Guardians, or Orioles. And then Guardians are definitely going to get a top 2 seed because the Astros are about 5 games behind. So it's very unlikely that they catch up. They seem like a comfortable 3 seed. So they're probably going to play Twins. I mean, the Tigers, really, they're turning it up. The Tigers, 3 games out of the wild card. What happened to them? They were awful. They just went on a big streak and they beat the Athletics. They just beat the Rockies in a series. I didn't realize they were that close to a wild card spot. Dang. Royals, they're probably going to be in the wild card spot. And you got the Twins. But Tigers, 3 games. Red Sox, 4.5. Mariners, 4.5. Even the Rays are 6 games out. They're 2 games below 500. They're not going to make it. I don't see it being any team other than the Twins, the Royals, and then any combination of the Yankees, Orioles. But man, I did not realize how close the Tigers were. Red Sox are also 4.5 out. They just had a competitive game with the Yankees tonight. They kept Time Bloom for too long. I mean, you win the World Series and then you trade Mookie Betts. questionable move, but I mean, that's baseball for you. The Red Sox are a Boston team and they operate at times like they are a small market team. Like you are the Boston Red Sox. You are one of probably a top three most historic franchise in the MLB. You have arguably the most historic ballpark in you might have the most historic stadium in all of sports, honestly. We'll go do a tier list at some point, talking about maybe ranking the stadiums, historic significance. We'll do that another day. I'll get something planned up here, but Red Sox need to make a big free agent move. I believe it was Ken Rosenthal said that maybe they're going to sign Alex Bregman in the offseason, but I don't know how that would work because Rafael Devers is a third baseman. Is he going to move to first base? One of them going to move to first, one of them going to be full-time DH. I don't know, but Red Sox still in it, Tigers still in it. Don't see either of them making it, but I will say for school, I did like a most surprising team, disappointing team in what was it, March. I said surprising team in the National League would be the Mets. Got a lot of heat for that, and that's working out. I said most disappointing team would be the Cardinals, and they both kind of worked out. And the American League, I was torn between the Tigers and the Royals. I ended up going with the Tigers. I did predict them to win the AL Central, so they are doing decent, but it would have been better off with the Royals. I said most disappointing team would be who did I say for the American League? I didn't say the Yankees. I know that. I almost did. Uh, Not the Rays. I said the Blue Jays, and they're 9 games below 500. So good picks there. I gotta start doing. I do have the receipts, so maybe I'll share it sometime on this page. But what else do we got? Noche UFC 306. It is tomorrow. I'll be doing like a predictions kind of thing on the second half. Maybe we'll put together a parlay. If any of you are Flip users, they are offering a free bet. It's plus 100. It's Sean O'Malley to land any strike, so you can double your money. It's a max bet of $10, but still, that's an easy $20 right there. So if you are a Flip user, definitely get on that. Main event, Sean O'Malley or Davishvili. And then the co-main is Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko, the third of that trilogy. That is for the UFC Women's Champ Bantamweight, Flyweight. I don't know what weight class they are considered, but you did get some interesting news. Dana White was on Barstool tonight. I forget the Busted Knuckles, I believe it's called. I want to get this sourcing right because as me reporting this, I don't want to say that, oh, this is happening. No, this was reported. Someone said that Dana White said this himself. Dana White did go on there and say that Michael Chandler is not fighting Conor McGregor per Robbie Barstool. So this ends up being wrong. This came from Robbie Barstool. But according to him, Dana White said that Michael Chandler wants to fight sooner. McGregor is not going to be back until early 2025. So McGregor 2025 and then Michael Chandler co-main event at UFC 309 in Madison Square Garden. Hasn't been confirmed by the UFC or Dana White himself. This is just reporting what Robbie Barstool said. Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, 5-round co-main event at UFC 309. Maybe the winner gets a title shot. I don't know. Lightweight division is really just a repeat of guys. So we'll see. That's all in likelihood going to be co-main with John Jones, Stipe Miocic, even though it should be John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. That's a story for another day. And for wrestling fans, big news tonight. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu at Bad Blood. I would assume that's the main event. I mean, it's Roman Reigns, it's Cody Rhodes in the same match, and it's in Cody Rhodes' hometown. You would have thought Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Hell in a Cell, that would be the main event, but it is 100% going to be this huge match up there. And yeah, that's going to do it tomorrow. Luis Severino, 10-6, a 3.74 ERA. He's been very good for the Mets. Probably their ace this season with Kodai Senga not pitching for a good majority of the year. Going up against Colby Allard, 2-0, a 3.50 ERA, making his first start back in a little bit. Glad that he's back. Hopefully that he can secure that fifth starter spot down. You had the Seth Johnson, Tyler Phillips, Tyler Walker debacle. Now it's Colby Allard's turn. Should have been him all along. But I'll be live here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe the game starts at 4:05. So I'll be here at 3 talking about the keys, not just Philly moments of the day. And as always, the triple play. So have a good night, everyone. Again, Phillies lose 11-3 in a horror show, a true Friday the 13th masterclass from the Mets. So have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. See you for the pregame show tomorrow. And as always, stay fresh, my friends.